welcome to my show. Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to my show. Whew. Welcome to the Black Eye Podcast. I am your host, Michelle. How are you doing today? Girl, I have not been feeling well for the past week. I have a sore throat. I have a very bad cough. And I have just been down in the dumps. However, I had to come off my sick bed and I had to comment on this Taraji P. Henson there. I can hear it better. Taraji P. Henson video. Why, you may ask? Well, I found it very interesting that all of a sudden everybody gives a damn about the pay disparity that has been going on in Hollywood since forever. And I started to think about this for a little bit because I'm thinking, where have I heard this before? And then it came to me. It came to me like a star, a light, illuminating in the darkness as I was hacking and coughing my little life away. Somebody talked about this before. I wonder who. Oh, yeah. It, it was Monique, right? Right. Woman right here who won an Academy Award for, oh God, what's the name of that else? Now I totally forgot it. The reason why this discussion years ago, back in the day when Monique was talking about Monique, who was but won an Academy Award, an obscure movie, and helped to expose it to a wider audience. Monique, who was working for Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Monique, who took $50,000 to play the role that she played. And these billionaires, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, offered her nothing else in return. $50,000. Shut up and go away. Thank you for your service. So when Monique came out, not crying on a platform, not crying on a podcast, and talked about it, everyone got a little busy in their head because Monique didn't fit the stereotype. Excuse me. She didn't fit the program. She was pretty enough. She was not good looking enough. She was not, you know, Taraji P. Henson, who, by the way, got the role of Cookie, the role that Monique was up for. Interestingly enough, Monique had been blacklisted by Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels. And when confronted with such blacklisting, they hemmed and hawed and said some things about Monique that put her in uh, a light that was unflattering to her, of course, because they had to discredit her. Oh, Monique is crazy. She doesn't really deserve this. Who does she think she is? Monique spoke eloquently, bravely, about the pay disparity in Hollywood. Monique tried to get black actors and people to band together and fight. Nobody would do it. No Taraji P. Henson, who, by the way, has worked with the same people that Monique worked for, crying about the pay disparity in Hollywood. No, they didn't do that. They couldn't talk to Monique. Monique is crazy. She doesn't deserve it. Who does she think she is walking in here telling everybody that she's worth more? All of a sudden, 3 years later, unprofessional Taraji and starts talking about herself crying on a podcast about the pay disparity. Interesting. Anyways, I came across this article right here because I was thinking about Monique, who actually was talking about this 3 years ago, and nobody wanted to uh, gather together with her and fight. By the way, she went against Netflix all by herself and won her case. No help from Black Hollywood, by the way. So, this article, written in 2020, goes on to read this. For the past few weeks, my social media platforms have been on fire with memes as Monique, a veteran comedian, Academy Award winning performer, New York Times, an iconic fat black woman from Baltimore. How about that? Black woman, brown skin. They don't like Monique. Monique didn't fit the 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 preference or whatever. I'm tired of using that word, but she didn't fit the beauty standard. Personally, says the writer, the Monique has been and will remain one of my favorite comedians of all time. As a dark skinned, bingo, fat black girl from Columbus, Ohio, who was raised by a beautiful, dark skinned, fat and black mother, I will never forget seeing Monique on my television for the first time as Nikki Parker in The Parkers. I saw my future self in her, and I felt refreshingly familiar. My love for Monique was solidified when she opened the 2004 BET Awards as its first black woman host with a gang of big, beautiful women as they performed Beyonce's first solo hit, Crazy in Love. I remember that. I remember that. Beyonce was up there dancing. It was a sight for sore eyes. Let's not forget about the fact that Monique's resume is impressive. In the very white, very male comedic and movie industry is undeniable. A simple IMDb of Monique search illustrates that the comedian was integrated throughout black television's heyday. This woman worked. I've seen her in movies. She was in movies with Halle Berry. She was in a commercial. She was busy. The 90s, this woman worked hard. And when she raised the gaze to the pay disparity, I remember watching her on the View, how she met with Whoopi Goldberg, who was checking her, trying to check her at every moment, trying to put her in her place, like Monique was an amateur. Like Monique never had stage presence. Like Monique did Academy Award for a movie. She helped make Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and Lee Daniels, well, Lee Daniels mostly a household name. Lee contract because of the movie. Now, this is not me trying to crap on Taraji, because again, she has a valid point. My point here and my aggravation and my upset is that these things were talked about years ago. But see, when everybody was sitting pretty, nobody wanted to be bothered with Monique because Monique didn't fit the beauty standard. She didn't come in here crying and carrying on no, she came in bold. She wasn't rude. She wasn't vulgar, but she stood firmly in what she believed in. Stood in her value. Whether Monique is likable isn't important when we're talking about black women. Not you work in the entertainment industry as a domestic worker or as a community grassroots organizers. Most, if not all, black women are being underpaid for doing the woman peers. So you see that, right? Let's talk about this paragraph right here. It says every black woman has to work $500,000 from Netflix, the multi-billion-dollar online streaming service. While we were wasting our time in comment sections across the internet talking about what this black woman does and doesn't deserve. TechCrunch, white people reached the uh, TechCrunch last month month that Netflix, which is run by a board exclusively of white people, reached 100. We all kind of know what um, $1 billion is. Meth in mind, TechCrunch also reported that Netflix in 2020 eight big content that wasn't even seen. They offered her 500,000 like that. She's not even funny. Riddled with God, I'm sorry, I'm so sick right now. Not funny. Here is Monique, who has worked her ranks. The pay disparity. Where was Taraji P. Henson then? Listen what they did. Additionally, well, she in this article she's talking about misogynoir, but we're in those comments too. There's actresses then when she was calling it out. She goes on, it's exhausting to see people like Charlemagne, the god of misogynoir, against his own. The expectation for people like Monique is that she should be quiet. She should be grateful that that people are looking at her. She should be glad that Oprah and what's his name, Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels got together and paid her $50,000. They figured they did her a favor when really she was doing them a favor because she really deserved more money than that. And she now you're asking me what does that have to do with Taraji P. Henson? Well, Taraji P. Henson is working for the same people. Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels. There is no reason in this world why Taraji cast about money. There should be no reason why she is crying about money. She worked on a TV show for 6 years. If she was making less than $250,000 a episode, whose fault was that? That. She was working for Tyler Perry. If he was paying her less than an X amount of money, whose fault was that? You can't blame white Hollywood for treating you the way they treat you when the Oprah Winfreys, the Tyler Perrys aren't treating you. Why are you under contract to Tyler Perry? Why aren't you under contract to Oprah Winfrey? Why aren't you under contract to Lee Daniels? You can say to me, like Amazon has writers who never wrote anything on call. Like they just gave them a couple of $1 million and they never write any. There's enough black money and black power in Hollywood that no black actor should be going without work. I don't understand it. Tyler Perry can give you a $50 million deal. You should never have to worry about money ever again. $50 million, 5 movies. I don't know. They're billionaires. The powers that be. But see, Tyler Perry never wants to grow outside of Medea. So your movies, when you're working for him, they're never going to hit in the way that Hollywood, which is totally trying to appeal to the world, they want to get into Asia. They want to get into Middle East. They're about the almighty dollar, which is green. They don't care about your color. Can you make the money? Is it worth it to put money into a project that isn't going anywhere? Somebody said black. They didn't. They didn't. They in the studio. I don't know, but
Street Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about
you the role of Cookie. You was sitting pretty then. You was cute. I don't want to get myself involved in that mess. But now you're beginning to understand that it all affects you too. And this is the problem I have with the black community. It all looks, it's about your looks, how they like you, and how Monique isn't this kind of woman. Who does she think she is? She doesn't deserve it. Even though she worked and broke ceilings, I would argue more ceilings than Taraji P ever broke. That's my argument. Anyways, let's listen to Taraji. I got this thing finally working. Let's listen to her.
stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
Mm. I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing myself. You tired? I hear
Who you working for? Who you working for?
people go, "You work a lot."
Yes.
I have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. That we're up as a whole entire team behind us.
Right. Yes.
They have to get paid. So when you hear someone say make it to their account, know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting so
Success. More money, more problems. You make more money, you're going to have to pay more taxes. When they say eat the rich, they mean you too. Yes, you have to have a team of people because nobody can do it all alone. You have to pay. There are people out here who are struggling to keep their lights on and keep a roof over their head and food on their table. And you're crying because you have a couple of million after $10 million payday. But when Monique was telling you some stuff, you weren't there. Now that Taraji is crying on a podcast, all of a sudden it matters.
Million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you grossed,
Sometimes
not
more.
after what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So
You're tired.
I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I get that.
It's unprofessional. She's being honest and she's breaking through and she's being so honest and so good. And, she's bringing the subject to the forefront. She's human. She's tired. Girl, bye. Just bye. See you later. Did I tell you that Monique fought Netflix by herself and won her court case? Did I tell you that? Because I should have told you that. I should against Netflix by herself. By herself. I'm trying to get this thing to come in. Anyways, I'm getting tired. I'm getting very tired. The medicine's starting to kick in. But my point is, I don't know what my point is. I just forgot it. But my point is this. We as black people have got to stop playing this game. We have to stop. P. Henson is saying is no more valid than what Monique was saying 3 years ago. The pain is still the same. But because we refuse to be accepting, well, I'm just tired. You see the picture yourself. You see what's going on, you know? Anyhow, tell me what you think in the comments. I hope that this video made some kind of sense. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one.